Hey guys, Veggie on Blitz, and that's only Veggie on Blitz if you can hear me or not, because I got a new mic for Christmas, so, I'm really excited, so, if this is working, if it doesn't work, this is just gonna be just a regular replay video. So I'm working on my volume, hope that's high enough. I think that's good, so you can, or a little bit louder. I don't know, I think there's good, I'm just gonna keep it there for now. Alright. Anyway. Is this the microphone? Microphone on. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just working on my new mic. This is my first time using it. Because I got a nice pair of Turtle Beach headphones. Anyway, I'm gonna be talking about the AMX CDC, and the T6 Dracula. I know I think that the AMX CDC is so much better. It's bigger. It's not faster, but it has that armor profile, and when I drive it, I just prefer it way more. I like the T6 Dracula, but it feels way too much like the RU251. If you know what I mean, if any of you are RU251 driver and a T6 driver, you know how they feel, and they feel exactly the same. But the AMX CDC feels way different, and if you're a light tank driver like me, I love light tanks. You would know this is, I know there's a medium, but still for people that drive fast tanks, if you drive fast tanks, you would know that the AMX CC is definitely not as fast as the T6 Dracula or the RU251. So, but pretty much, this tank, it's not as fast as them, but it really feels like you're driving one of these, one of these insanely fast tanks. Why it's not as faster, and why do I feel so good driving these tanks, and I feel so good driving the RU251? It's just that because, like, it's got the better armor profile, and you can't have a faster tank than RU251 with an actually good armor profile for a medium tank. So, yeah. The AMX CDC just got that same light tank feeling, and you can put in all that DPM with the same amount, with the same kind of reload as an RU251. No, I think the RU251 is a little bit longer, and its gun does more damage, so its gun is way better. Anyway, for the T6 Dracula, it's a really old tank, but it was so good. And they had it before they were even considering the French line. So they came out in the I think it was sure the 2015 or the 2016 Halloween event. It came out with the Hessling, the Van Hessling, and it is so amazing, the T6 Dracula. But why it can't, I mean, but why I prefer it, it's like why I prefer the T6 Dracula is just, no, I don't prefer the AMX CDC. It's just of its armor profile as a fast tank. But the T6 Dracula, so much faster with an autoloader. And autoloaders are amazing, and this thing is really fast and can do a lot of damage. But the T6 Dracula, back to our history lesson, the T6 Dracula didn't really like It came out before the French line, and when the French line did come out, they decided just to not put the AMX CDC in. It was because they already had the T6 Dracula. They could do a remodel of the T6 Dracula, but I know everyone would just hate that because that's the T6 Dracula, and it's been like that for 2 years now. So, but. So they decided actually to put the AMX CDC in, but since they already had a French line and they wanted a single line at first, so they added the AMX CDC later on, not that long ago actually, into a premium, making a premium tank, and that was actually such a good idea, even though these two tanks are so alike, is really an upgraded version of that, and they just kind of redid it. And since the T6 Dracula was maybe might have possibly Wargaming actually probably taking it off. They wouldn't mind doing that. The only problem is that it's since the T6 Dracula and the AMX CDC are both premiums, you kind of they can take it off, but if they did, all the people that with the T6 Dracula can sell it and not get it again. So they just kind of, if they did sell it, they just kind of have to pretend it never existed, and then just take a couple deep breaths and hit this and hit the delete button on the T6 Dracula or the AMX CDC. But and they can't, and they won't be able to purchase it again. But or the T6, but I'd rather have the T6 removed. I'm not saying any of these tanks will be removed, but I think either one later in the future will be removed. And I heard Jag talking about artillery coming out in Blitz, which we have definitely no idea, but Jag was looking in the World of Tanks files and found a couple of tanks that were artillery tanks, and they weren't in the game. So they could add an artillery class, but that has nothing to do with the T6 Dracula being removed. Just saying, they could add artillery and make this game less blitzy, because World of Tanks Blitz is known for its like fast-paced gameplay, and the difference between World of Tanks Blitz and World of Tanks PC. That's one of the main differences. It's kind of open in World of Tanks PC and slower paced, and Blitz is just so much more fast-paced, and there's so many more things going on. So to remove some fast tanks, which they might do if artillery comes out, it will be possible, but this may never happen. I'm just saying, heads up, just if it does. And I was looking at some game files too, and I couldn't find the T6 Dracula in some future stuff. That means I might have just not found it. But anyway, Veggie on Blitz out.